So what's going on in the Clawson market? Well, let me just tell you, Clawson home prices, they are up, but that is not the full story. And here's what matters right now and how the market is actually behaving. Clawson sits right between Royal Oak, Berkeley, Birmingham, and the Woodward corridor. When you look at Clawson year to date, you're going to see two things happening at the same exact time. Prices are increasing, but buyers, they're slowing down. And that combination, that changes everything. Let's talk about average sale prices. Average sales price in Clawson is just up about 8% year over year. Average sales price sits at $323,000, while the median sales price sits at $312,000. So yes, values are definitely moving up, but price alone, that doesn't tell you how the market actually feels. Let's talk about days on the market. Days on the market, that's where the shift has gone up. Homes are now taking an average of 32 days. That's up over 15% prior to last year. That tells you that buyers are taking more time. They're not rushing decisions, and they're paying closer attention before they move forward. This is no longer a list it and it's gone over the weekend. Let's talk about percentage of sales to list price. This is another important shift. Homes are selling about 101% of their list price year to date. Last year, that number was higher. So what that says is that buyers, they're not pushing prices as aggressively. Negotiations are more balanced, and price strategy matters more than it did a year ago. What about inventory? Inventory is up. It's up about 40%. But let's talk about the month's supply of homes, and that sits around 1.1 months. So what does that mean? What does month supply actually mean? Month supply is how long it would take to sell all of the current homes if not one new listing came on the market. Keep in mind a balanced market that sits at 4 to 6 months. Clawson is still way below that. So even though inventory is rising, it's still very much a seller leaning market, just not as aggressive as it once was. Let's talk about the actual sales activity. So pending sales, they're down. New listings are down, but closed sales, those are actually up year to date. So that tells you something very, very important. Fewer people are jumping into the market, but the ones who are, they're serious and they're moving forward. This is where a lot of people will stop just at the numbers. And this is what I see in real life. Buyers, they're more cautious, they're more analytical, and they're much more aware of pricing than they ever have been. They're not overpaying just to win. They're asking, does this house actually make sense? For sellers, if you're selling, the opportunity is definitely still there. However, pricing matters more. Preparation matters, and also how you position it onto the market. Those three things, those are top priority. The days of testing the market and expecting multiple offers regardless, those are fading. So if you're buying, you have more breathing room than you ever did before, which is really good news. But you don't have unlimited leverage, but more opportunity to think, compare, negotiate. Those are good things. So this isn't a slow market. Buyers, they're just making decisions differently nowadays. They're taking longer. They're comparing. They're being more analytical. And they're paying much more attention to price. And when a home, if it doesn't line up, they're just moving on.